Not yet.
The early bird gets the worm, I guess. We're
Right.
starting a little early.
Stan, let's sing our songs together.
Good.
Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Didn't want to miss it.
Here's somebody singing, "Good morning." Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Yes. All right.
Okay. We're just going to keep going.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All in the neighborhood, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Back to this. All in the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, good job, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Little light of mine. All right.
That's okay. Just like water, we're going to keep going. Thank you. Good morning, Unity of Garden Park family, and welcome Facebook Live friends. It is Sunday, October 6, 2024, and it's my honor to serve this morning as platform assistant in place of Kathy Mountain for our speaker, Reverend Rick Schumacher. Wherever you are in the world, Unity welcomes you in light and love. As long as your life is about treating people with kindness, dignity, and respect, you have a home with us here at Unity. As we move into opening prayer, I invite you to take a little breath in and close your eyes if you're comfortable. Feel the pew that supports you, feel your feet on the floor, and feel all the love that surrounds you right now here in this place. Father, Mother God, Great Spirit, thank you for this beautiful day. We are surrounded in light and love. We know there is divine essence, one pure energy, and one presence. That presence is both seen and unseen. It is in us right here, right now, for there's no separation. I know that as pure spirit, I am whole, healthy, and complete. I am pure love and peace. Each of us is here this morning by divine appointment to give and receive a blessing in some way, shape, or form. Those blessings start with gratitude. And here at Garden Park, we have so much to be grateful for. We have these amazing grounds, this beautiful sanctuary. We have the leadership of two wonderful ministers in Rev Sandy and Rev Kathy, and we have the loving support of one another. Stay open as we move through the service in joy, celebration, and love. And so it is. It's now time for the church affirmation that we say each week together. If you'll join me, the words are up on your screen. Unity of Garden Park is a radiating center of divine love and light, mighty to attract our good and to radiate good to others. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God, the good omnipotence. Thank you. It is first Sunday of the month, so guess what? Come on, birthday Sunday. So if you have a birthday in the month of October, please raise your hand. Our ushers have a little badge that they would like to give for you. Oh, we got them in the very back too, Beth. We've got a few October people coming up. We're gonna let Beth Lloyd, our usher, look at her move. She's got this together today. And we've got one way back in the back, Beth, back left with Kath. We're getting Beth a workout this morning. She said she was volunteering this morning. She overheard me ask somebody for an usher, and she's like, oh, I'll do it. She didn't know she was going to have to do some steps. There we go. Thank you, Beth. All right. If you'll stand, if you have a birthday tag, you got to stand while we sing happy birthday to you. So, everybody up with the tag. There we go. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friends. Happy birthday to you. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you. You're wonderful. God is blessing you now. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Yvette. It's now time for the youth to go with Miss Sandy and her volunteer teachers. And as the youth are leaving, I would like to ask, is there anyone here at Garden Park for their very first visit? If so, please raise your hand. I think we're all family this morning. All right. I don't know what to say. I know. Along those lines, we are wondering if you are receiving your weekly email blast. You should be getting that every single week. If not, either call the office and give us the correct email because we might have written it wrong, or in the very back there is a piece of paper. Thank you. There is a piece of paper where you can print your information again and we'll try to get it out to you. We don't sell or share your emails. They're our in-house tool to communicate with you about all the things that are happening here at Garden Park. So I invite you to go ahead and sign that registry. All right, it's now time for our daily word to be read by Lynn Heald, and that will be followed by a song. Okay.
This morning it's about joy. I rejoice in life's simple pleasures, life's biggest moments, weddings, births, graduations, celebrations of all kinds are cause for joy. But joy is also found in the simpler moments, the day-to-day happenings, the compromised daily living. Joy is in the sunrise, in my morning, in my morning prayer, in the familiar faces I love and look forward to seeing, in the satisfaction I get from my work. It is my favorite things, and in the sweet surprises that come from trying something new and different. Joy is the comfort I find in my favorite spiritual practices and in finding God anew as I deepen in spirit insight. However it manifests, joy is part of me, a way to feel the peace and power of God in my heart and deep in my soul. I should finish my job. And from 1 Chronicles 29:22. And they ate and drank before the Lord on that day with great joy.
Well done. Joyful, joyful, we adore you. God of glory, Lord of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before you, opening to the sun above. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the light of day. All your works with joy surround you. Earth and heaven reflect your rays. Stars and angels sing around you. Center of unbroken praise. Field and forest, vale and mountain, flowery meadow, flashing sea. Chanting bird and flowing fountain, praising you eternally. Always giving and forgiving, ever blessing, ever blessed, wellspring of the joy of living, ocean depth of happy rest. Loving Father, Christ our brother, let your light upon us shine. Teach us how to love each other, lift us to the joy divine. Mortals join in mighty chorus, which the morning stars begin. God's own love is reigning o'er us, joining people hand in hand. Ever singing, march we onward, victors in the midst of strife. Joyful music leads us onward in the triumph song of life. Thank you.
That is amazing.
Thank you.
I love how you did it when you did it by yourself and then you had accompaniment.
We just came up with that.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Just came up with that.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, it's time for us to sing together our thoughts or prayers. Please join me. The words are up on your screen.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
Thank you. We are joined today with our guest speaker, Reverend Rick Schumacher. He is here visiting on behalf of Rev Kathy, and just to kind of give you a little bio, he is a Unity minister, 3 generations unity. He is an archaeologist. He is a professor at the University of
Youngstown State. Youngstown.
That's what I thought, Youngstown. He's from Akron. So he's going to deliver a meditation this morning as well as our talk. So you ready to go?
Ready to go. Yeah. Well, before I begin, there's something I just absolutely have to do. And that is to let you know that I've had the privilege of speaking at Unity churches throughout the country. Just lots of them. And one of the great gifts of ministry is music. And we often ask the question, who ministers to the minister? Who takes care of the people that take care of us? And for me, the answer is music. And I want to tell you, in my travels across the country, I have come across some wonderful musicians, but what you have here is absolutely incredible. If I come back again, I'm going to bring my own Kleenex so I have it ready when I start to cry. Thank you. Thank you so much. So with that, let's take a moment and become still. We enter into that place in consciousness that the psalmist called the secret place of the Most High. In this place, we know that we are one with God, one with each other, and one with good in every needed form. As we still our minds and open our hearts, we realize that spiritual law reigns supreme in our lives. In these moments, we are grateful that old thoughts and old conditions are as waters that have passed away. In Christ, we are conscious of new life, new strength, new health, and abundant prosperity. The Spirit of truth moves in us and through us in this sacred moment and in every moment to bring forth good as is needed and necessary in our lives. In this moment, in this consciousness, we are healed. We are prospered. Our relationships are harmonized. And we find new peace of mind. We are fed and we are led. Our footsteps are guided. We walk in the light and in the ways of truth. As such, we claim our divine identity. We know ourselves to be who and what we truly are. We are points in time and space where God and God's good is made manifest to the world. Now, in a moment of silence, I invite you to receive the very gift that is yours this day, that Spirit has for you. gently, ever so gently, allow your attention to return to this time and to this place. And do so with the sure realization that the gift has been received and readily springs forth into full manifestation in our lives and our world. For this we give our heartfelt thanks in the name and through the power and the presence that Paul called Christ in you, the hope of glory. Amen.
Thank you, Rev Rick. That was so beautiful. I couldn't help but to release and just, woo, that was really good. It's like, throat, don't close up. Wait a minute. Gotta sing. That was so beautiful in your delivery, in your intention of it all. And it was so relative. Did you guys feel that? Whew, okay. Thank you. Okay. Don't lose your way with each passing day. You've come so far, don't throw it away. Live believing, dreams are for weaving, wonders are waiting to start. Live your story, faith, hope, and glory. Hold to the truth in your heart. If we hold on together, I know our dreams will never die. Dreams see us through forever, where clouds roll by. For you and I, souls in the wind must learn how to bend. Seek out a star, hold on to the end. Valley, mountain, there is a fountain, washes our tears all away. Words are swaying, someone is praying, please let us home to stay. If we hold on together, I know our dreams will never die. Dreams see us through forever, where clouds roll by. For you and I, when we were out there in the dark, we'll dream about the sun. I know our dreams will never die. Dreams see us through forever. As our souls can fly, the clouds roll by for you and I. Thank you.
I guess it works out there as well. Well, good morning. It's a pleasure to be with you. And I have a couple of little stories here. First, Reverend Kathy and I have known each other for many, many years. And for all intents and purposes, we would see each other once or twice a year at the Great Lakes Regional Conference or at the annual conference. And at that time, you know, we're so busy and you run it and you say hi and it's like, you know, we're going to get together one of these days. And one of these days, I'll come down and give you a Sunday off. And, well, here I am. It's taken a long time to make that happen, but we're together, and I'm grateful for that. And I would say very briefly that the last time I was in a Unity church in Cincinnati was 1968. Now, I was just a wee child in my mother's arms, as you know, but it's really good to be back and to be with you. So, as you can tell, I'm a storyteller, and I really do like stories. Do you like stories? Yes. I mean, oh, good. Because when you say no, then the rest of I have to say is out the window. Well, stories are really important. If you think about it, it's the stories that we've been told from our earliest childhood that shaped our minds, our hearts, that kind of set our moral compass and sent us off in a direction of growth that was powerful and that was meaningful. So if we think about these stories that we've been told and kind of analyze them a little bit, they're like little morality plays. There's always something at the end. Now, this is a story that I can tell, an example I can use with a group like you. I've tried to use it with my university students, and they don't absolutely understand it because they're far too young. Because every story has what I call a you see, Timmy. A you see, Timmy? Okay. If you remember Lassie, the television program, what happened? Every episode, Timmy got into trouble. Lassie got Timmy out of trouble, and they sat around the kitchen table to kind of debrief what happened. And Timmy's dad always said the same thing. He said, "You see, Timmy?" And that's when we got the moral to the story. So every story has a you see, Timmy. And you're going to find one of those in ours today. I will share with you another story that you know well. It's the story of our founding father, George Washington. You know the story. He was just a child, and his father comes home, and the cherry tree has been cut down. And his father says to him, "Georgie, did you cut down the cherry tree?" And you know what he said? He said, "Nope, not me, Dad. I think it was that kid that lives down the street. He's got a big axe and he never liked me." That's not what he said. And I think you all know what he said, and you could probably say it with me. He said, "Yes, I did. I cannot tell a lie." And so you see, Timmy, in that story, the value of that story is in the fact that countless children, including us, learn the value of integrity and telling the truth. Now, here's a question. Do you think it really happened? Doesn't really matter, does it? Because today we're still telling that story and communicating the importance of integrity and truth-telling. Well, we think about this for just a while and we realize that still today, our parents, or us as parents, or grandparents, are telling our children bedtime stories. And one of the reasons for that is we want them to go to sleep with positive messages on their minds. So, that's really important. But maybe more important is that stories are not just for putting children to sleep, they're for waking up adults. And so we think that's going to happen today. We think that's going to happen. So I have a story for you today, and this is the basis of today's message. Everything is built on this story. It's from ancient Turkey, and it teaches a very real, eternal truth, and it will help us set our spiritual compass, if you will, to true north, to orient and maybe reorient our lives as we travel through what has become a very noisy world. So the lead character in our story is a fellow by the name of Nasruddin Hoja. He's a 13th century itinerant teacher who was witty, wise, and what was called a holy fool. To be wise and a fool at the same time seems paradoxical. But the Apostle Paul sheds light on this in his first letter to the Corinthians when he writes, "Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seems to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may become wise. For the wisdom of this world is the foolishness of God." Well, we're about to see this in this story. So here's the story of the woodchopper and his companion. The woodchopper is in the wood with his axe, and he's cutting wood. And he takes the wood that he cuts and he loads it on a cart. Now, the woodchopper is a big, strong man, great muscles. And he takes this very heavy axe. Let me step out here a little bit. He takes his very heavy axe and he brings it down on the wood. And as he does so, his companion, who's sitting off to the side, goes, "Ugh." The axe comes down. "Ugh." So, along comes Nasruddin, and he sees what's happening. And what's happening is this. Every time the woodchopper cuts wood, the companion grunts. Nasruddin looks at this and he's perplexed by it. And he says to the companion, "Why do you do this? What is your role here?" And sitting on top of the cart, where the wood is stacked, the companion says, "Well, I give encouragement." Now, Nasruddin is a little perplexed. He just allows this to pass. And so he moves on, and he goes into the small town just outside of the wood. And lo and behold, the woodchopper and the companion come into town. And the woodchopper has a cart full of wood, which he's about to sell. And so he goes to sell the wood, and he gets a large bag of gold. And the companion's eyes get really big. He wants his share. Nasruddin sees this and realizes that maybe that share might be more or less what the companion thinks it is. So he asks one of the merchants for a silver counting tray. And he takes the large bag of gold and he holds it above the tray and he pours it onto the tray. and the coins rattle and make this wonderful noise. And Nasruddin looks at the companion and said, "Did you hear that?" And the companion said, "Yes, I heard that." And he started to smile. And he says, "No, did you really, really hear that?" And he says, "Yes, I heard it. It's wonderful." And Nasruddin said, "Good. You gave noise, and you get noise in return." So that was his payment. So what does this teach us? I mean, it teaches us something really, really important. Today, we still hear people quoting what this law communicates. Now, you've heard it. You've heard it in beauty shops. You've heard it in barber shops. You've heard it in the lines in the grocery store. You've heard it wherever you might be, because wherever people are, they quote this very real spiritual law. Now, if you're familiar with another kind of worship, you may be familiar with call and response, where the minister or the clergy or the leader makes a statement and then the congregation responds to it. Familiar with that? We're going to do that. We're going to try that, and you're going to get to participate in this in a really, really wonderful way. So, now don't worry about this, because you know this so well that it's going to come rolling off your tongues. It will almost amaze you. It will almost amaze you. So I'll make the call, and then you make the response. All right, don't worry. You ready? Here goes the call. What goes around? Whoa. Isn't that what Nasruddin experienced? Isn't that what we experience in our own lives on many occasions? Now, the problem with that is, in our general society, what we think that means is, and what people are really saying is, "Don't you worry, he'll get his. What goes around comes around. Don't you worry, what she said's going to come back to bite her on the knee." But the truth is this. The law, take knee, okay, good. The law works, and it works for good as well. So when we send forth good into the world, it comes back to us. And that is because there is a spiritual law that is the law of cause and effect. And it states that you cannot set in motion a cause on the invisible side of life without getting a like effect on the visible side of life. It's that simple. But the law manifests itself in three ways. On the mental plane, it is what we've called the law of mind action. Real classic unity stuff. Thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. Our thoughts are prayers. We understand that. One of the great little known and little respected writers of the New Thought movement was an incredible woman by the name of Ella Wheeler Wilcox. She was Wisconsin born. She came out of a very mainstream kind of religious thought and became the poetess to the New Thought world. She wrote an incredible piece, and I like this. I've used this for many, many years. She wrote, "You can never tell what your thoughts will do in bringing you hate or love, for thoughts are things, and their airy wings are swifter than carrier doves. They follow the course of the universe. Each thing must create its kind, and they speed o'er the track to bring you back whatever went out from your mind." Yeah. Now, it takes place on the emotional level, or on the emotional plane as well. And we've often called that the law of sowing and reaping. The law of sowing and reaping. One of the great mystics in history was a fellow by the name of William Blake, who was not only a poet, but an artist, an engraver, just a phenomenal. If you ever have a chance to enjoy some of Blake's work or Google Blake, I would encourage you to do so. He he wrote something called The Divine Image that really speaks to this. And it speaks to us as being channels or vessels through which the divine expresses in the world. And so he writes this piece called The Divine Image, and he writes, "To mercy, pity, peace, and love all pray in their distress, and to these virtues of delight return their thankfulness. For mercy, pity, peace, and love is God, our Father dear, and mercy, pity, peace, and love is man, his child in care. For mercy has a human heart, and pity a human face, and love the human form divine, and peace the human dress. Then every man of every clime that prays in his distress prays to the human form divine, love mercy, pity, peace, and all must love the human form in heathen, Turk, or Jew, where mercy, love, and pity dwell, their God is dwelling too." And so from on the emotional plane of life, when we get caught up in stuff, we need to be with Blake and call upon this sense of love and mercy and pity and peace that we can pour out of our own minds and hearts to be a blessing when people need it. In our meditation, I suggested, and I believe wholeheartedly, that you and I are points in time and space where God is made manifest to the world. And Blake's saying the world is looking for love, mercy, pity, and peace. And it's you and I who have the privilege of pouring that out like a healing balm. On the physical plane, this law continues to work as well, and you know this as the law of giving and receiving. As you give, so shall you receive. Now, I really like this one. I really like this one because it uses the word as. As you give, so shall you receive. And sometimes we've believed that there's a gap somewhere between when I give and when I receive. You know, if I give something, some way, somehow, whether it be of our substance, of our love, or our time, whatever it is that we're giving, that there'll be a gap between when mine comes to me. And that's not what it says. Because it says, as you give, so shall you receive. Now, I want you to think about this for just a minute. I like the analogy. Imagine an opera singer standing on the stage, giving it her all, and she's a little off key, maybe just a little flat. And so what happens? The audience responds in what we might call a negative way. You see, the next day in the newspaper, the critic wrote, "As the opera singer sang, the audience threw tomatoes." But get this, two things happening at the same time. As she sang, the tomatoes flew. So there's no need to wait for some good to happen sometime, because it is happening at the very moment that we participate with the law. There's no stand in line. There's no wait. So the other reason we can look at this is with the word as. As means not only just at the same time, but to the same degree. So if you give lovingly, you receive lovingly. If you give half-heartedly or reluctantly, that's the way it comes back. Because that's what the word means. So our real work is in consciousness with the first cause, God. And there we set into motion spiritual law. But we start with the first cause, and then secondary causes, the things in the world, begin to line up for us. It is these secondary causes that begin as we hold them in mind. Thoughts that are right and true. And we empower those thoughts with the love of our own hearts. And by ensuring that our actions in the world are in harmony with our thoughts and feelings. So here's another quick story. I have more books than any human being should have, according to my wife. Now, I bought books from retailers, and I bought books from antique bookstores. And I went into a bookstore, and a book just about jumped off the shelf into my hand, and I looked at it, and I thought, okay, and I opened it up, and it says 25 cents. Now, this was a couple of years ago. Well, a lot of years ago. And I'm flipping through the pages, and I'm looking at, oh, this is not me. I don't like that theology. That doesn't meet my needs. That's not in keeping with who I am. Why did this book jump off the shelf for me? I mean, it was only a quarter, but it sounds like a wasted quarter to me. And then I fell on a page. And I fell on a page with a poem, a prayer. It was called The Prayer of Good Intention. And it says this: each thought, each word, each deed of mine shall be an act of love divine, and everything I say and do shall be, dear God, for love of you. Best quarter I ever spent. Now, if you were to ask me what's on the page after that or the page after that, I have no idea. I never read another page in that book. Still the best quarter I ever spent. But this is about us setting in motion spiritual law and enjoying the blessings that living that kind of life brings. So, the world is full of noise, and if we give our attention and our energy and effort to the noise just like the woodchopper's companion, we're going to get noise in return. This noise in our world manifests as disease, poverty, and sadness that impacts far too many people in our world. If we understand and actualize the law of cause and effect, remembering that this law states that you cannot set in motion a cause on the invisible side of life without experiencing a like effect on the visible side of life, we can bring healing to a world that needs what we offer. It's why we're here. It's why this church exists, why you have ministers, why you have a board who make this place a place of sanctuary from the noise of the world. Now, here's a secret. We go within or we go without. If we don't go within, we will surely go without the good we desire, without the health, wealth, and happiness that is our divine heritage as children of a loving Father. So how do we do this? This is the you see, Timmy. Where do we begin? Henry Drummond wrote this incredible piece, and I'm going to draw from it just a little segment. He wrote, "This earth is not merely a place to live in, but to see in. We are to pass through it as clairvoyants, holding the whole temporal world as a vast transparency through which the eternal shines." This is seeing the presence of God in everything and everyone at all times. This seeing of the eternal, shining through all creation, sets new causes in motion, and according to spiritual law, must be expressed in the visible world as health, wealth, and happiness. This is the work in consciousness that we do in our daily prayer life. remember, you truly are a point in time and space where God is made manifest to the world. And because you know what goes around comes around, you make a difference in the world. That, my friends, is the truth about you and about me. God bless you. I love you, each and every one. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Rick. That was amazing. All right, it's time now to have our love offerings and prayer requests. If you are filling out a prayer request after we're finished blessing those, I ask that you pass those to the middle. So Lynn Helder will be coming out behind our ushers to make those collections. If you are a sustained giver or you donate any electronically, any way at all, please pick up a sustained giver tag and place it in your hand. Facebook Live, you have a donate button. We would appreciate your support in this ministry as well. And if you are sustained givers, pick up something at home, place it in your hands. It symbolizes a prosperity energy that we want to keep moving here. So your sustained giver tags, any kind of financial donation that you're making, as well as prayer requests, let's put those in our hands together and say our blessing. Go ahead, it's up on the, whoops, we forgot your affirmation. We'll do that at the end. Okay, you want to do it now? Well, let's do it now. All right, why not? Here we go. You got to say it with me. Our old thoughts and old conditions are as waters that have passed away. In Christ, I am conscious of new life, new strength, new health, and abundant prosperity. Thank you. All right, now we're going to say our prayer together. We're getting it up there. There we go. In your hands, let's say this together. Divine love expressed through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I have faith in God as my instant, constant, and abundant supply. Thank you, God. Today, I just want to let you know we do not have a prayer chaplain here for private prayer. So I'm going to ask if you would like one of our chaplains to call you, put your phone number on that prayer request, and one of them will get back to you for sure sometime this week. And now we're going to have a song while our ushers are collecting. Don, can I have you help Beth? There we go. Lynn? Here we go. If you want to just follow behind, Lynn will be collecting the prayer requests from the edge. Just follow behind him.
When a star is born, they possess a gift or two. One of them is this: they have the power to make a wish come true. When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you. If your heart is in your dream, no request is too extreme. When you wish upon a star, as dreamers do, fate is the sweet fulfillment of their secret longing. Like a bolt out of the blue, faith steps in and sees you through, and you wish upon a star, your dreams come true. Fate is kind. She brings to those who love the sweet fulfillment of their secret longing. Like a bolt out of the blue, faith steps in and sees you through, and you wish upon a star, your dreams come true. Thank you.
I remember hearing that song on Sundays when Walt Disney World. All right, it's now time for some announcements as we're moving forward here. First thing that we need to know is Rev Kathy's going to be doing a 3-week series on Beatles music. We also are going to have Unity singers, so they're going to sing those Beatles tunes on November the 10th. They will also return for holiday music on December 22nd. We have we're going to do a church directory. Next week, we will have sign-up sheets outside the doors. There'll be pictures taken on October 20th and 27th, before and after service. There's like a 10 or 15-minute time slot for people. They will be taken by Jack Casto, and they'll be taken down in Fellowship Hall. So please sign up for a time to have those done. It would be really helpful. Trunk or treat, we are ready to go here. It will be October 19th. It's 1 to 3 here at Garden Park. It's a community-wide event. It's open to everybody. Sandy has a sign-up sheet for anybody who's interested in helping in the lobby, so if you'd please sign that. But it is so much fun. We have DJ. I think DJ Phil's going to be there. We have snacks. We have drinks. There's really nothing missing except costumes and kids. So that's coming up, with the rain date being October 26th. We also have Rev Sandy's class. The new class that she's doing, the 12 Powers, Adventures in Resilience, that has begun. It's on Zoom only. It's Wednesday evenings from 7 to 8:30, and it has already started. So there is a Zoom link that is in the email blast. We are in need of some volunteers for fellowship on Sunday. Terry Obert, Melanie Haley Reed are downstairs, and they're making an incredible lasagna lunch. So they are in need of some help, some support down there on different Sundays. So if you have the time and you could do that, that would be most appreciated. The next part that we are going to do is that we're supposed to have the kids, but I don't see them. So Joe is going to go find them. We are just moving along. I've never seen Joe run before. All right. He's got it though. So who in here is ready to come to trunk or treat? Who's going to bring their car, candy, kids? All right. Do you dress up do you have costumes too? You do have costumes, all right. And so how many people are we looking at that's going to get down in fellowship and help out down in fellowship? Everybody's supposed to raise your hand. Fellowship needs help downstairs. Yeah, we got to raise hands. Those ladies are unbelievable, and that whole team is down there every Sunday, setting up early and cleaning up on their own, and if there's any way that you could support that, that would be awesome. The other thing that I neglected to mention is Rev Kathy, the Chat with Rev K is coming back. She's going to be doing that on Mondays. There is a brand new Zoom link. It will be in your email blast. It starts October the 28th when she gets back, and she should be back on the 20th. I see some little heads coming, and so we're going to get to see them. Take care of this candle. Take care of this right now.
Hi, everybody. We're coming. We're just running a little late. Go ahead.
Well, I had to add lips, so that's really not a good idea.
Oh, Kim, you can handle that.
I tried my best. They're kind of sleeping on me out there.
Keep going, Lily. Lily, go, 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 go.
So come on up. Are you
I've got
going to be
other-
our speaker?
The rest of my crowd's coming behind me.
All right. Ooh, those are something. I don't judge. Whoa. Uh-oh.
What we did today
Got 'em?
is we made little spiders. The story well, my spider doesn't want to stay in his bed.
I got him.
What we read was a story called Luigi, the spider who wanted to be a kitten. He thought if he was a kitten, everybody would like him. If he was a spider, people want to stomp on him. So he decided to pretend he was a kitten. But then he learned at the very end of the story, he didn't have to pretend. People liked him just for who he was. Same with the kids. I told them, don't pretend to be something you're not. You don't need to be. People will like you for just who you are.
Thank you. What an incredible gift. Thank you, Sandy. All right. There it goes. We're all good. Okay, it's time to stand. We're going to say our prayer for protection together. If you're a hand holder, grab hands. If not, keep them down by your side. It's up to you. Come on up here. All right, words are on your screen. The light of God surrounds us.
The love of God enfolds us.
The
power of God protects us.
The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. All right, we're going to sing the peace song. Who's going to get the microphone up here? The words on your screen.
You want to help sing?
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our Father, family all are we. Let us look with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be your joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace and harmony. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Okay. All right. Hey, I just want you to know that I have a copy of the prayer for you that we used in today's service. So, in the back.
And everybody, there's a sign-up sheet out in the lobby for the trunk or treat if you're interested. Thank you.